All right, we're back again with the rice pudding. So, what do you think about the steak? Right? Yeah. Cheers. 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 It's 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 like if I give tandoori steak to any one of my family members back home, they would pretty much disown me already. Like it's like beef tandoori. What the heck am I doing? But that's what you're supposed to do. I'm a black sheep in the house, so I do all kinds of random things. But next, again, the idea with this cooking class was keeping as much as fresh produce focus, vegetable focus, what's in a season, and then we did a steak, and we're ending with rice kheer, which is payasam or rice pudding. Again, it's completely vegan. I wanted to share a recipe where we all have friends who are vegan, don't eat dairy, and you always wonder what you want to make for them. You can bake things for them or make this rice pudding. It's a very different recipe. We made it ourselves, so it's like you have everything you want from a rice pudding without adding eggs or sugar. Milk, dairy, yogurt. Some people use heavy cream, a lot of different recipes like custard. Here we're using 3 different types of coconut milk: evaporated coconut milk, coconut condensed milk, and coconut milk, to almost like a tres leche kind of a thing. And it's the recipe is inspired from south of India where they make payasam, which is the payasam is traditionally made to offer to in Pongal, which is like a southern Indian festival from Tamil Nadu or Kerala, where it's offered to the gods. And rice is life in because it provides a lot of nutrition, carbohydrates, and also it's easy way to feed everybody. And rice is a big part of Indian subcontinent and rest of the world. I think rice and potatoes. I think rice beats potatoes by quite a bit. Everybody eats rice. And this specific recipe, I chose to use not basmati rice, but you can use basmati rice. It's less starchier. It's called Kali Jeera rice. It's from eastern India, from Bengal, and it's very, very aromatic. The grains are super, super small. It's a short grain rice, and also not as the grain is short, but not as big as a sushi rice. So it's a small grain rice, also very short, and has a lot of that aromatic phenolic compounds as you would get. So, when you smell the rice, anytime you're cooking the rice, especially jasmine rice in a room or in a kitchen, you smell that like, wow, the rice smells really good. It's all those phenolic compounds make that aromatic effect for your to feel that rice cooking. And those things are very high in this rice. So hence I chose this rice. What we do with this is you toast the rice. First you wash the rice, nicely rinse it. As soon as the starch is kind of washed, you drain the rice, and right when it's still wet, you start toasting it. We did that part already, and Chris is going to toast the rice now. And you toast it until like the rice is like easily moving in the pan without like all that moisture is gone, and it's just starting to toast. Where what happens when you toast the rice is it becomes lighter, and when you make the rice pudding, it's not super gluey or like that. It's not like eating sticky rice pudding. It's I like sticky rice pudding, but in this specific recipe, I want it where it's not as sticky, and you toast it, and it makes it lighter too. And then you cook it with water and coconut milk, and then we use coconut palm sugar, another one of my favorite ingredients. If you haven't seen it, I think it's worth having in your pantry. It's a sugar derived from coconut palm, and has a low glycemic index, so you don't feel like you're all sugared up. So you will taste it when you have this rice pudding. It's not super sweet because the sugar we use is naturally derived, like coconut palm sugar. Almost has its own flavor. It's like It's almost has a flavor of dark brown sugar, but a lot less sweeter. And we make that syrup on the side with a little coconut milk and a coconut palm sugar in a separate pan. And while the rice is cooking with the coconut milk and water, the syrup is being made, and the syrup is literally you are melting that coconut sugar and the coconut milk together, and as soon as it becomes syrupy consistency, we fold that back into cooked rice and then put it aside. And the great part of this is you can add, in this recipe, we use cloves. And the third part of the recipe is the leche, which is the milk part of the coconut rice pudding, where we use the coconut milk, condensed coconut milk, and I just got this brand. This is available in Whole Foods and Publix usually. Hence, I got it. Evaporated. The reason we use 3 different type of coconut milk is one. Evaporated coconut milk is has all just coconut fat left in it, and it stabilizes the coconut milk part of it of the recipe, and it's literally all the 3 of those milk. We bring it together. We cook it down with a little bit of cloves. I have done it with allspice. You can do it with green cardamom if you like cardamom, nutmeg. There's a lot of different warm spices you can use with it. We use cloves because it just adds that different layer of flavor. I have allspice tree and a barum leaf growing, and we'll put a couple of those leaves also into the leche to give the layers of flavor. And it's all about building the flavor instead of cooking all in one pot. Nothing wrong in it, but when you do different layers of this recipe, you build it together. You also, the presentation is great. That's what Varun is doing right now, is putting the rice pudding on the bottom. And then to finish, we fry the cashews in coconut oil and put the cashews on top, a little bit of a toasted coconut, and whatever fruit you like. Right now, tonight, I'm going to use apple. We got some Fuji apples cooked with some chai spice, with a little bit of a cinnamon, black pepper, and yeah, and coconut oil kind of, and make literally stewed really quickly and put it right on top. If you would like coconut ice cream, you can put coconut ice cream on it. Strawberries, I've done it with fresh strawberries. So you could put any fruit. It all came about because I had a lot of mangoes, and we were doing mangoes everything, and I'm like, there's nothing better than mango and a rice pudding together. So I did this orange sherbet mango I got in season, and it was mangoes, cashews, and coconut rice pudding. And we liked it so much that we kept it, and now we put apple in it, and we had done strawberries with it, and until the mangoes come back around. One of my favorite fruits. So speaking of mangoes, there's so many mangoes. I mean, we are blessed. Florida is one of the only states you can proudly say we are the only mango state. So when I ask you to vote for Make Florida Mango State, please help me out. Because it's not, I don't know any history about Orange State. I know a little bit, but I think we grow more mangoes. South Florida, as you go up north, most people, you get less and less mangoes. And other state I know and I lived in is California, also have a lot of mangoes, but they're not as good as mangoes here. Mangoes in Florida, and it's not many times I've said that, they are almost as good as mangoes are in India. If anything, almost same. So if anyone from India here say, oh, we don't have, I'm like, don't be stuck up in the same Alfonso mango or Kesar mango. There's so many different mangoes. Be open to trying different mangoes. Everyone takes so much pride, and the Haitians want to say, oh, our mangoes are the best. Jamaicans say, our mangoes are the best. I say, screw you all, Florida mangoes have all of it. Because ultimately, there is a little bit of everything here. So there's so many farmers doing so much of a work for mango. I'm impressed, and it makes me feel I don't know nothing about mangoes anymore. So I'm growing some mangoes. We'll see what happens. I'm trying. We moved our house. One of the reasons was I wanted to grow my mangoes. So wish me good luck. Here, Chris is now working on making that leche. You got all the milk, coconut milk, and everything together while it's boiling. So it's literally rice pudding is cooking. You have the syrup, which is a sugar part. You cook it separately, add it to the rice pudding, you cool it down. You can also add different spices while the rice pudding is cooking. I just wanted to put it into the leche so you have layers of different flavors kind of coming through instead of all spices at once. But you can do that totally. You could use jasmine rice to make this recipe as well. You could use basmati rice to make this as well. Just make sure you wash that starch off, toast the rice, and cook it with coconut milk and everything together. That's where we are at. I've done this with peaches as well. Peaches in season go really well with the rice pudding, kind of macerated peaches or peach jam, peach compote. Let's see what you think. So I'm going to help him plate right now while Chris is cooking the rice. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. If someone wants to come see what's going on the stove, we're at the end of the recipes here.
I got the rice over here with the water and the coconut milk. That's boiling down. While I'm doing that, I'm slowly reducing the brown sauce over here. That's my syrup. That's what's going to get added into the rice to add that extra coconut flavor that has the coconut sugar, a little bit of water only, just to reduce that down. With the rice, I have water and coconut milk. And then over here I have our 3 coconut milks. I have regular coconut milk, sweetened condensed coconut milk, and evaporated coconut milk. So basically both of these are just slightly reducing very slowly. Very slowly. You can see the heat. I have it very low. And essentially what that's going to do is as the rice cooks, that takes about 15-20 minutes. This is reducing the syrup that I'm then going to put in when it's about 3/4 of the way cooked. Over here, I have the sauce that we're going to put on top of that kali jira, and that's just reducing, again, very slow, very slow. I don't need anything to be ready before the other. The only thing I need to cook first is my rice and my syrup, and then that's going to get added in. So the sauce over here, once I add that syrup to the rice, I'm going to basically add our arrowroot starch right to that sauce. And that's going to basically add the thickness that I want, and that's we're going to add on top. And so that's what you'll see here as they plate. You're going to get the rice in the bowl, a little bit of a dimple in there. We're going to put that sauce inside, and then the fresh fruit on the side with some fresh toasted coconut as well. If you look over here at the rice, you can see it's starting to get to that point where the water is I would say about 3/4 of the way cooked. So this is where I'm going to add my syrup. The syrup goes right into the pot. And we're just going to give that a little stir so everything's nice and incorporated. And then we're just going to keep cooking that down until we start to see a little bit of the starch bring it all together. So I would say we're about 4 or 5 minutes away from the rice being ready. You can see it's still a little liquidy here. I want a little less of that movement. And now that I've added that, I can take the sauce over here.
Thank you, sir.
It's getting nice and reduced, starting to get a little bit of caramelization on there. You want to think of it almost like if you're making dulce de leche, where you have the sweetened condensed milk. You usually cook that in a water bath. That takes about 2 hours, hour and a half, 2 hours. And then when you open that can up, after you cool it down, it comes out as a nice dulce de leche, almost like a caramel, and you make it right in the can. So that's kind of what we're looking for here, just a little bit of caramelization, and then we're going to add that arrowroot starch. And we're just going to thicken that up, and then I'm just going to let that basically just come up to a boil, and then I'm going to turn it off and just let it kind of thicken up as the rest of my rice cooks.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure everything's nice and incorporated. We don't want any lumps.
Hands feel.
And again, just keeping it on low heat. There's no reason to rush anything here.
I'm not going to disturb you while you're doing this. Everything is fabulous.
You can see the rice still has a little bit of liquid on top. I'm going to give that another stir. Just make sure that we're not sticking on the bottom. And I would say we're about another minute or 2 away.
Okay. Put it here. Let me see the coconut. Varun, let me see the coconut. Yes, I just wanna. All right, go for it.
So if you guys look over at the rice now, as I said, about 3-4 minutes, we're about there. You can see where it's starting to get those bubbles where it breaks the surface, but
This
it
is
leaves a little
missing
bit
the
of a
milk.
crater.
Leche.
If you see that, we got a good shot there. Yeah, there we go. So I'm just gonna basically turn that heat off now, and I'm just gonna let that sit. When the rice cools down, the sauce cools down, that's when you mix it to, when you make the dish. And that's what you guys are gonna get, the nice cooled rice, the nice cooled
Toasted
coconut
fresh coconut.
sauce, and then that toasted coconut, a little bit of cashew, and our spiced apples as well.
But I hope you're enjoying the cooking class so far, and thank you for everyone to attend and being so patient with us. Thank you, Kai Kai Farms and the team here. Amazing job, you guys. Thank you so much for bringing us all of us together. Thank you, Varun. Thank you, Chris, and ultimately, thank you to all of you guys who support this farm, support us. We are small businesses, and ultimately, without the community, because this is not just about the dining experience, learning about recipes. You guys are actually taking time out of your day and driving here. It's like learning. It's a big cycle, and I see some familiar faces who shop at the Kai Kai Farms and go to the restaurants. It's important that we make a change. I still use a lot of commodity product, but it can't just change overnight. We have to change the system kind of together, where ultimately we are serving. It's gonna take a while, but it has begun. It has started, and for that, thank you to all of you. Cheers.
Thank you, Chef, and thank you for all the team, and on behalf of Kai Kai and all of you, I really appreciate him tonight to come all the way here to give us such a great demonstration, and you learned more than you expected tonight. So.
Cheers. Thank you.
you.
I hope they give me a fruit before I sell that house. This Kali Jira. Kali Jira, K-A-L-I. Kali means black, and Jira means cumin, so it almost looks like a little cumin seeds. Because the husk of this rice is black, like super black, but the rice is like any rice.
Cooking in the kitchen, rocking on the phone at Kai's Music Garden.